We know that there was plenty of elements cut from Spider-Man No Way Home, and despite the fact that we're going to see plenty of cut scenes when it comes to physical releases and probably future physical releases down the road, there's still plenty of things that we're never going to see, such as a direct confrontation between the Green Goblin and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So this is a couple images that were captured from one of the trailers that we had hyping up bonus features and everything for Spider-Man No Way Home. And they reveal that we actually did at one point almost get Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, coming face to face, battling on Green Goblin's glider, and even them having a face-to-face conversation and an exchange of words that seemed to be somewhat prolonged, maybe like a actual 45-second to a 1-minute exchange of dialogue on the scaffolding around the Statue of Liberty. Now, of course, unfortunately, while we do get some moments between these characters, it's not as long as what we could have gotten. And I think it's one of those things where ultimately, once they start to cut down the film, they realize that it took away from some of the flow of the film and what's going on in the background, because having to just stop two characters to fight and throw little one-liners and quips at one another, while it might sound good on paper and you want it there, they're fighting for survival, fighting for trying to stop these villains and all these other villains cracking through the multiverse and jumping in here and suddenly defeating the three Spider-Men. So they have to be careful with what you can do. And I kind of get it. And what we do get, I think, worked and was perfect, but there is a part of me that wishes we could have gotten a little bit more, but ultimately it becomes fan servicey. And as we watch more of these featurettes that have been revealed and kind of get more of insight into what could have been, I think you start to realize that ultimately the cut we got of the film, specifically that third act, is pretty well paced, all things considered. There's not too much downtime. There's not too much time where characters are just standing, talking to each other, trying to do member berries while there's things exploding in the background and villains doing their thing while the heroes don't care. And ultimately, I think that's why they had to cut these scenes out. It's unfortunate, but at least we know we shot them, so maybe Sony's going to pull a Sony and a couple years from now we get Spider-Man No Way Home 3.5 and it adds like an additional 15 to 20 minutes. And I don't think anybody would honestly be against it. Who knows? Maybe they could even release it in a theater and make that $2 billion hit. I mean, it'd be smart. People would turn up, that's for certain.